Hello, hello, everyone. We're supposed to be Zen, but we're not. We're
We're not.
celebrating the power of pause.
Oh, this book is so amazing. I love this book so much. Mwah.
Oh, it's us combined together, sharing a gift with the world, the power of the pause, partnering with silence. And look at all those eights. We're the eighth day of the eighth month at 8 a.m. with Adria and 8 p.m. with me here in Perth, Australia. How perfect. Couldn't get
Oh,
more perfect, could it?
we're tapping, we're tapping directly into infinity because we've kind of got the eight on its side there as we're bridging both hemispheres. How cool is that?
Oh,
How
that
cool
is
is
breathe that in, guys. That's the power of the pause right there. Take a moment just to
Oh,
breathe that goodness in and then exhale all of the crap that happens during our days. Because life happens, Adrian, no matter what. And that's why the
yeah.
power of the pause is so important. Can we talk to it? Can we just share why this book was so important for us to write, but also why the world needs it right now, especially with this whole shift in consciousness that's happening? And I would love to speak also, there's the three things, to speak also to, we all go after goals, we all go after things, but life is full of cycles. And what happens between cycles is pause, and people don't stop and pause enough.
Yeah.
Really, like, really.
Yeah. And what happens is they have something they want, and then because they don't pause and give it space to develop,
Mhm.
they lay on another thing and another thing and another thing and another thing, and so they don't know whether they're coming or going. And I think, I mean, you taught me about pausing a lot, and I think part of it is because you have a very hectic, crazy life, and I love that about you. And and it's so funny because
Pause are
you have
important.
no, it's not more important, but it's like you got tons of kids and you got tons of imprints and you got businesses and you got, I mean, da 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 da, da on and on and on. I live a much quieter life. I live alone. I have a couple dogs. I live in very off the grid for most people in the countryside of Vermont, and yet you're way better at pausing than I am. Like I just throw it in there. Now, part of it is because I love to think. I love thinking. Um, but really our relationship and you honoring my overreactions or my freakouts or the things that I've done by saying, you know what, why don't you just sleep on it? This is great. I'm glad you're so upset. I'm glad you're freaking out because it means you're passionate. And if I've got somebody, an author that's passionate or a partner that's passionate, we got something to work with here. But give it a little space to breathe and see how you feel about it later. So good at that, Karen. You're just
Oh,
so freaking good at it.
it's something I feel that's just a must because it's how can you if you can, that's where clarity comes. The gift of clarity comes in that power of the pause. And if you're going through it, keep going and churning, what are you going to hit? Burnout.
Yeah.
You're never going to see
Yeah.
mine the gold that's
Yeah,
there to
or
find.
really, or depression, right? Because nothing's happening because you're not giving anything time to grow and time to have some space. And we overreact, we overthink, we overfeel, we're not grounding. And the only way to ground is to take that pause and just say, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do anything about it right now. I said my piece. My piece is
Mhm.
out there. I said what I wanted to say. And peace, I mean PIECE. I said I roared and or I prayed or I did whatever. And now I'm just gonna let it sit there.
Yeah. Let it percolate, and that's the thing. And in those days where you may feel overwhelmed, like your body it will guide you, your mind will guide you so well. You've got to trust and honor it. And yes, it may not be convenient. And yes, there may be a to-do list longer than yourself waiting to be done. But I can promise you, if you stop and pause, maybe go for a beach walk, go and do something that fills you up, you are going to hit that list and you are going to tick off things in the best possible way because you're doing it in the right energy, you're doing it with the right intention, you're doing it with enthusiasm and a zest for life rather than a slog. There's
Yeah.
nothing like,
And
pausing
most
is
people
just
are
so
slogging. They're slogging through life. We're all guilty of it, right? We don't give anything room to breathe and become. We are to-do listers and we're box tickers, and there's no spontaneity in that. I mean, I often say when I talk about science of story and the story of your life, that habit is the kryptonite of creativity and joy. When you're in your habit and your routine and that's all you're doing, and you know I love a routine. I love routines, but there's a difference between discipline and habit, right?
Yes.
Discipline is I'm mindfully deciding this is what I'm going to do. And I would say add pauses into your discipline. That's really important. To say I'm gonna do so much on this and then I'm gonna step away. My writing took a very different course when I said I'm only gonna write a chapter, then I'm gonna let it sit there. Then I'm gonna come in and do another chapter tomorrow or 3 days from now or whatever. And giving things space gives them beauty. 100%.
Can we speak on writing? Because people talk about writer's block and things like that. And writer's block, I believe, generally comes because people need to pause and something needs to land in that space. It needs to you need to become aware of something, or you need to experience something so that it fills that gap and connects the dots in your story. Can you speak to that? Because there'll be a lot of writers.
It's kind of one or two things, right? Either you've written yourself into a corner because you don't know enough about how story works. That's a very important knowing. And you have to pause to go, I actually don't know how I would get out of this. And that's where learning story structure and understanding the guts of story is really important. And of course, the other part is the inspiration just isn't there. You're not tapped in. When you're really writing or writing or creating a song or cooking or loving on your kids or walking in the woods, there's this transcendent thing that happens that where you get into the zone. Same for athletes, right? And that's what you're looking for. And I think you would hit writer's block when you're not allowing for the transcendence to overtake. You're forcing, and force is the direct opposite of pause, right?
Yes. And the force is met with resistance. That's sort of what you want to get. And it's not just for writers, it's for everything.
Any type of creating, which we're all doing. We're all creators. We're all creating all day, every day. Whether you view yourself as or not, I hope you do. And I hope if you're watching this and you don't, now you're all artists. You're all creating this beautiful canvas called your life. And it doesn't matter if you do something artistic or athletic or any of those things. It's about, I don't know, it's sort of like the image that came to me is sort of like floating through your life with happiness, sort of as an undercurrent of that, instead of struggle being that undercurrent. Not to, I love duality. I love that in order to be happy, you have to struggle. In order to have pleasure, you have to have pain. They go together. Don't separate them. Don't separate them.
Learn to live in harmony with it all.
Exactly.
And find your way. Because
if you're not pausing, you're not living in harmony, right? You're not.
And I bet you if you're not pausing, you're not getting the results you want in life.
That's right.
It's the most productive thing you will ever do, honestly.
Absolutely the most productive thing you'll do. And listen, I'm the most impatient person on the planet. But this is not a book we're not experts. We're not psychologists. We're not pause experts, whatever that means.
I don't know, Adrea, you are now. When it comes to the sound story, like it's really genius. One thing I always say to you is there's no better time for something to happen than the right time, because we can push for something to happen now and it'll happen, but it won't be at the best capacity and results that you're going to get whenever you do the work, whenever you show up, whenever it happens at the right time. That's when you see the real results. It's amazing. It's magic.
So what we did in this book was we just sort of gathered up the kind of pauses we think exist. And we went from sort of just the moment to moment pauses by just taking, because I love my physics, where we get down to the smallest of the smallest to define how life works. And each moment that you can just add a pause into everything you're doing, the cadence of your life, the cadence of your voice will really ground you in a much better place. All the way up to, grief and loss. Yeah. Freakouts. That's my favorite. Other than forgetting, I think forgetting is one of the best pauses we get. That is, to me, that is a huge God wink. When you don't know where your keys are, or you can't find the word, and you're forced to pause. I love that one. We are designed to forget, everybody. We are designed to forget.
Absolutely. And focus. Pause and focus. Wow. You tap into another energy source. It brings you opportunities and inspired thoughts that you would never get otherwise if you didn't stop and
Yeah.
be in
You can't
that.
action, 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 action.
Mhm. I'm feeling tired listening to that.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, I absolutely love this conversation. Everybody should go out and get their copy of The Power of the Pause by Moi and Doi. We
Yes,
have put a lot of love into this book, and we promise it will help you no end, because whatever resonates in this is going to change your life. So go and grab
absolutely.
your copy today.
Guaranteed. We're willing to put that guarantee, and we love you
Mhm.
all so much. We wish you all the best. Have the best 8-8 on the 8 of the 8 of the 8 of the 8. Just keep going. Have the
Just keep.
best day ever. Thank you so much. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you for celebrating with us, guys. Go and grab your copy today and let us know what you think. Bye,
Absolutely.
guys.